お、おしゃれなお家だよね、全部。
Even in her 90s. Sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother.
Wow!
The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife Kay left on the house was the pink bathroom.
へえ。
It was a pretty big trace.
すごいね、これ見て。なんか、サンゴ礁みたいな。お、あった。お、開いた。
There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
おー、開いた。面白い。すごい仕掛けがいっぱいあるお家だね。
Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
写真作るとこなんだ、ここ。で。お、狭いな。狭いな。よいしょ。
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin.
うーん。
And that he never talked about him.
だって。なんでだろうね。
I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
なんかあるんだね。おー、すごい。
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it. My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom. And he did. At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again. And he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
飛びたがっていたんだって。
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it. I told him going around was impossible.
へえ。
Maybe if I hadn't said that.
すごーい、ブランコ。めっちゃ高い。
Maybe if the wind hadn't picked up. Then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember.
めっちゃ怖いんだけど。やばい、怖い。怖い怖い怖い怖い。
The day he made up his mind to fly, and he did.
うわー。これ立てて落ちとくだーんって。これで死んだんだ。
Strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.
これで死んじゃったんだ。う
After
わ
the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room.
あ、そういうことか。だからさっき。はあ。
Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
うわー、飛んでって死んじゃったんだ。芋虫。おお。開いた。なんじゃこりゃ。どうやってやるの？こうか。ねえ、怖いよね、芋虫。おしゃれすぎん。すごい仕掛けがいっぱい。
The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
ここに出てきちゃった。
Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara.
ババラ。舞台やってた。 なんか子役やってたって言ってたのか。どこだろう。あっち行けるんかな。あ、行けそう。行けたー。
Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star.
子役だったんだって。ビッグフットだってタイトル。超怖くない？
I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards.
あと。
Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Wow. Barbara Finch.
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch. As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up. A has-been.
Oh.
But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages.
He
hid it in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks. I'll be back in a sec.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned.
え
Barbara went to look for him, right on cue.
怖っ。
She reached for the music box. And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent.
なんでさ、変じゃない？めっちゃ変じゃない？だってボーイフレンド鍵やってさ、降りたんじゃないの？違うの？
Are you okay?
もう一回鍵刺さってたよ、今。
This isn't funny.
怖すぎるんだけど。あ、行くんか。
She found Rick's crutch and imagined the worst.
The gang's leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his
うわ
family 10 years ago
や
tonight.
ば。エグすぎん？
The old fridge rattled and grew still.
Oh dear.
Oh!
Rick?
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
え
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and you're...
She threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the late picture show.
初見です。ただろうちゃん、いらっしゃい。もしもーし。
Walter, what's going on up there? Ah! Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
ダタロウちゃんだ。ごめんね。間違えちゃった。ごめんね。名前間違えちゃった。来てくれてありがとう。もみじだよ。よろしくね。なんか今ね、すごいドキドキする展開になってる。ごめんね。ありがとう、ミリオ教えてくれて。ほんと？よかったよかった。ゆっくりしてってね。ハロウィンの季節、怖くない？うわー、やめてー。どこだ？
Walter had vanished, but his bedside radio was still on.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
うわー。
Barbara turned, saw the hook man, and was speechless. He was quite smashing. And there he was. He couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara, there's gotta be another way out of here.
That night, she played her part beautifully. Molly's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges groaned. He wasn't moving, but she sensed the story might not be over yet.
ポコスか殴ってるよ。とどめだ、とどめさしに行くぞ。行くぞ。ちょっとね、これ走れないな。ゆっくり。いない。
Had vanished. She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was
出ていいのかな？
at the door. She heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
Oh dear.
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent.
嫌なサプライズじゃない？
She had a taste for stardom, but unfortunately, so did her fans. The police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter, hiding under his bed the whole time. All pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all they ever found of her. Her ear. eerie tale.
全然笑えん。え、怖すぎん。どういうこと？
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
意味がわからんのんだけど。